What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Jay-Z Bottom Lip, and today we're gonna help you guys break down Shujinko. Shujinko, with the newest update, he has a move called Crumble, where he allows himself to be able to not use his gauge meter to basically allow you to go for a combo. Especially if you don't have meter, this is really strong and really helpful, especially for like Tanya mains out there. You can now be able to combo without having any meter. This is very helpful a lot of times when you don't want to spin your bar and you want to save up for 2 bars or 3 bars, whatever the case may be. This is very helpful in this sense. Shujinko also allows you to be able to use your cameo as much as possible. You don't have to wait as long as all the other cameos. And then on top of that, if you do essentially get a hit, you can actually call Shujinko out and he'll build meter while you're comboing. So you can do things like this. And by the time that you're done with your combo, you'll most likely have this character here for you to basically use. Be sure that I put this on default, right? So let's try it again. So by the time you're done with your cameo, you'll have a full gauge meter of this character. Another cool thing that you can use is that you can actually use him at a distance. As long as you're in front of him, he doesn't get hit. He'll stay out as long as you need him to. So if you're zoning and you want to play off of Shujinko, you can do such now. You can actually start doing things like this, throw him right behind you, and you can actually just start chipping out your opponent as well. Shujinko also requires you to actually throw him out so he can build up this bar and then be able to be used. There's a few things that you can do with him. You can also hold him like this, and he'll go behind your opponent, so he can't actually hit your opponent. Your opponent literally has to back up in order to hit Shujinko. This is also very strong if you don't want to put him behind you, because a lot of times he'll be right here and he can actually get hit. So the best thing to do sometimes is like put him behind your opponent, and this right here is really strong as well. And then you can go for setup, so whatever the case may be, he's behind him, so he can't even touch him at all. So that's another good reason about him. You also can even put Shujinko on the ground. He'll even build meter as he kicks his opponent, and you can utilize him that way as well. And then you can go for your combos, etc, etc. That's really cool about this character. Again, he also has a move that allows you to crush your opponent. And another cool thing about Shujinko is that depending on what move that you take from your opponent, moves that are usually negative with that character itself, Shujinko sometimes can make that safe. So I wanted to show you guys what it looks like with this character in particular. He doesn't do this with every single character, but he does do it with a select few, and it's up to you to figure out for yourself. But I just wanted to showcase Scorpion since he's on the screen. I can now do things like this, which is negative usually, but it's -3 on block, and it also jails. So knowing this, you can actually play layers with your opponent, because once they see this string, they automatically assume that it's over. But now with the new update, you can actually do things like this. And with that being said, you can actually use Shujinko now, and you can throw him out if you have a full bar, and you can throw your opponent off really tremendously. You can start doing things like this, and they won't be ready for it, not necessarily every time. So again, you can start now playing layers with your opponent. You start growing them off this. You start throwing them off this. You can start doing this type of thing. You can do this as well with the new update. This is safe. You can also even throw him out while you're actually comboing, and he can't really hit him. And if he does hit him, you can go for a fireball and he'll take the hit, and so on and so forth. You also can even put Shujinko on the ground. Let's see if I can show you guys this real quick. You can put him on the ground, and sometimes he'll take the hit of a projectile, but also he's neglecting highs. So if your opponent's throwing out a high or whatever the case may be, this is really helpful as well. Or if your opponent wants to jump in and you're right this close to his cameo, you can get hit. Or for another example is if your opponent is using a character that has projectiles, especially like new sidebot. If your cameo gets hit by that green stuff that Noob has, then you automatically get hit by it as well, and it sticks to you, which is cool. Now that you have Shujinko, you can actually put Shujinko on the ground and he won't get hit by the projectile. This is really helpful and it's really important. Now the last update for Shujinko, it now steals 4 moves from your opponent. Before that, he only had 2 moves that he could steal from your opponent, and they also sped up how fast he builds up his bar now. So Shujinko is becoming very useful. The only thing I would say that it probably needs help, or another thing that you would need to update about this character so you can see more of Shujinko, is that not only does he still moves from his opponent, but if he can also still ambush moves from his opponent as well. This will make him tremendously strong, because now he's more important than the other character as well. So now I can throw striker bombs, or I can throw Kano knives at my opponent while I'm still comboing them, and this is very important, and this is actually will help out Shang Tsung a lot, believe it or not, especially if I'm playing against certain characters in particular. That's really strong. Another thing that I wanted to show you, since we have Shang Tsung on the screen, is that now he has a new move where I can copycat, and I can actually build meter with him, and his bar goes up even faster. It just looks crazy to me. But anyway, he also can I'll showcase you something really quick while we're on this topic really quick. I can do things like this. Hold on, let me build my bar really quick. I'll show you. I can do things like this now. Hold on, come on. Next time I'm gonna do it with him so I can build a bar faster if I mess up. I can do things like this now. Okay. All right, let's try this again. Okay, hold on. There we go. Yeah. Set up, and he got hit for whatever reason, so on and so forth. That is dope to me. I think everyone should be able to learn that, or at least have fun with Shang Tsung and Shujinko. I hope to see more of this team. Again, like I said, I think the only thing that is probably important, or the one thing that he really needs, is being able to have an ambush. Anyway, there is two things that you have to keep in mind, is that this move right here with the punch is actually safe. Your Kameo will get hit if your opponent wants to press a button. Your Kameo will get hit. So like, for an example, you can do things like this, and it'll go away, but by the time that he goes away, you'll be able to, your opponent will actually be able to hit him as well. So there would be a cooldown on that just because he got hit, but you're also safe. If you do the back kick, it is -3, but there is a layer of mind game there, which you can also make safe with his overhead being -7. I'm pretty sure you can armor there. I'm pretty sure you can armor through the first kick. You also can up block the second hit of the overhead, but there's just mind games too that you just want to play or don't want to play. You also have to keep in mind that he also has this is negative as well. The follow-up hit of the crumble itself is -3, so if you do throw that on block, please be careful. But I'm pretty sure people who's going to be playing Shujinko, a lot of times you're only going to be able to be not able, but the only reason you're going to be throwing a crumble is on hit. So a lot of times people are probably going to go for the back kick, so that's something to look out for if you're playing that layer with that opponent itself. That's something to look out for as well. Another thing that is really cool that you can do to throw all your opponent, you can do things like this just to simply throw all your opponent. Yes, the second hit of this is a high, and a lot of times it does not jail off of any move, so you can essentially block it. I mean, duck it. See that? So just be careful when you're utilizing this, but you can do things like this. That's really good, like kicking their opponent like that. Boom. And since it's a mid, they have to respect that, and it's really strong for that simple reason as well. There isn't much depth to Shujinko, but there is a lot of cool setups and moves that you can do while you have Shujinko on the screen, and you can utilize, especially if you're playing against Kenshi and so forth. You can have his Sento, and you can come up with cool combos as well. He has a lot of versatility that you can use with this character. So just find different ways to be creative with Shujinko. But again, the one thing that's probably stopping me from playing a lot more Shujinko is probably because he doesn't have an ambush, and this will help him a lot in certain matchups, like I said before. But that's really about it with Shujinko. Shujinko is probably the most basic character, Kameo, to learn. If you're thinking about picking up a Kameo that help you get good at the game, or certain characters that you struggle with, I would probably put him on a list with those characters, those Kameos as well, which would be like Chameleon, Serena, Sub-Zero, those characters will really help you. And then from there, you can play like Scorpion, you can play Shujinko, whatever the case may be, just to up that level of understanding of this game itself for you. But that's about it. I appreciate you guys. If you guys like and comment and leave some type of response below, I would appreciate it. It's your boy Jay-Z Bond Lip. I'm out.